Hi all, it's Ali Abel here and I'm so excited to share Retire Talk, the podcast discussing all things RV. Each week I will deliver enlightening and uplifting conversations with industry colleagues and experts in the area of market research, marketing, project sales and marketing, village management and much, much more. I hope you'll join me. This week I'm so excited to be speaking with Jamie Langdon, the Marketing and Communications Manager at Benevolent Living, a not-for-profit seniors living community in Rockhampton, Queensland. Jamie may be the youngest in the boardroom, but she has not let her age hold her back from throwing herself into her work and the aged served industry. Jamie is also the Deputy Chair of the LASA Next Gen National Council and helps national, state and LASA Next Gen advisors set and attain their strategic priorities. She has most definitely found her calling in the industry and wants to help others reach their potential as well. Well, Jamie, I am so excited to be speaking with you today. Thank you so much for putting aside the time to have a chat.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me and asking me to come on the podcast.
You're most welcome. Well, look, I know you've recently gone through a complete rebrand from what was known as Benevolent Aged Care, now known as Benevolent Living. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So the organisation and the brand, I guess, as a whole, went through a really significant transformation about 2 years ago now, just before COVID struck us. And we really wanted our brand to be new and fresh and innovative and really show and reflect what the redevelopment is going to be all about, and also our changing model of care that comes along with that. So we worked really closely with our key stakeholders to really solidify what we wanted the organisation to stand for. And from the outset, we identified that we wanted to stick with benevolent. So I know it's a hard word to pronounce, and it's a word that most people probably need to go refer to a dictionary to see what it stands for. But we are a 154-year-old organisation that's been in its entirety in Rockhampton for over a century. So it was really important to keep with that history and pay homage to that. So we wanted to really inspire and enable our community, not just our residents, but the community as a whole, and show that seniors can really be a part of something more, that it's not just aged care, that it's really living a life based on meaning and purpose. And that's why, even though it's one word difference with the name, it really stood for that inspiration and enabling of our residents to live that happy life based on health, wellness, meaning and purpose.
Fantastic. Well, I've got to say, I've had a pretty thorough look through the website, and for anyone that is listening, I really do encourage you to log on to the Benevolent website. It is fresh. It is new. I love some of the ways that you're storytelling with even your construction timelines and various different things like that. So again, if anyone would like to jump on, please jump on and have a look at that. I think that's fantastic. Jamie, tell me a little bit about what you're working on at present. There's a fair bit on your books at the moment, isn't there?
Yes, definitely. So we're a small organisation, so we have taken on a lot. We also have a really small and dynamic team, so I do have a lot on my plate. But basically at the moment, I'm really working on focusing on bringing to fruition our $47 million development. So our construction's going full steam ahead. I can actually see the second story of the new building. The scaffolding's coming up over the building at the moment, so I can see it from my window. So I look out and see all the workmen working along. So it's really great after quite a few setbacks during COVID to see it coming out of the ground and really coming to fruition. I'm also working on our strategic marketing plan for the next 2 years, which will encompass the opening of the 2 new buildings. So we're going to be developing the first vertical retirement village in central Queensland. So something not done before. Yeah, it's quite an exciting project for the community, definitely. And then we also have our new residential care building, which will be the region's first aged care facility with 1-bedroom apartments for co-living with married couples, which is exciting. And we're also embedding a broad-based arts theme to the community. So I'm currently working with 2 consultants in that space to bring to life our creative arts activation strategy. So it's not something that you'd probably think you'd be doing in aged care or retirement living, but we have both an art workshop, which local artists will be able to create work and run workshops out of for our residents and seniors of the community. And then we also have an art gallery walkway within the community. So we really want to activate that space and showcase not only local artists, but also senior artists, that it may be something they've just picked up at 65 or 70 and they may have wanted to paint their whole life or do something in that creative space. And we're going to give them a centre to come together and to do that.
Fantastic. And will residents living there also have the ability to be able to join in on those classes as well?
Yes, absolutely. So that's the entire premise of the site was really built for community activation. So when we were sitting with our architects and designing the spaces, it was really centred around how do we break down those traditional barriers of aged care and provide a community amenity that even if granddad or grandpa didn't live at Benevolent, you'd want to visit anyway.
Wonderful. Look, tell me about the breakdown. So when it's complete, how many aged care beds will you have available to the community and how many ILUs will be available for purchase?
Yep. So the first stage is residential care. So we'll have 36 both suites and apartments. So a mixture of those one-bedroom apartments and just your traditional residential care suites with significant amenities definitely for the local area. It'll be a premium product. And then we'll also have 40 brand new independent living apartments. It's quite small. We're boutique, but we're also a co-located site. So we really see the benefit of providing that continuum of care for our residents, from independent living through to respite care, high care, dementia care as well.
Oh, fantastic offering. Tell me a little bit about the Rhythm for Life video. Again, something else that I saw on the website, which was really quite emotive for me watching that. Absolutely loved it.
Yes, definitely. So we put that together actually for council when we were getting development approval for the new build. But as soon as we produced it, we just did it with a local marketing firm here in Rockhampton, and they're phenomenal and they really know our story. And I think they can really capture the essence of our vision and our mission and what we're trying to achieve. So it's a really strategic partnership that we have with them. And we actually used photos of our residents. So there's actually only one stock image there, which we tried to get out, but we couldn't. But all of the images there are our residents. They're all doing our lifestyle activities and programs and events that we have on site. And we really wanted to showcase the true benevolent spirit and not just something that you can get on Adobe stock. So I think that's why it becomes so emotive, as you can really see either yourself or your parents or your grandparents through the story of Benevolent, and it showcases really the community activation that we're going for.
Storytelling is just so important, particularly for something like this. And also when you've got such a rich history, as you said, Benevolent over 100 plus years doing what they do best. And I couldn't agree more with you around the importance of making sure that imagery, stories are authentic. Which probably leads me to the next question that I'd like to delve into. I mean, no doubt you've obviously started your marketing campaign, your wait list for the project. What would you say the top 5 marketing strategies have been that you've implemented that you're starting to see the greatest impact in regards to lead generation?
So we actually started this about 2 years ago. So it's been a long build up in the wait for the project to get off the ground just due to some construction setbacks. But we actually, in the outset for our consumer research, we held small kitchen table focus groups. So we didn't call it a focus group. We invited key members of the community and also seniors. We invited them to kitchen table conversations with me and our CEO. So she was there to listen to the conversations firsthand, which proved invaluable. We referred to them as our design team. So they helped us co-design the living spaces, both in the apartments and also in the community amenities as well, that they'll be able to have access to. We ran 4 groups and we had about 10 in each group. And we just did it at a local coffee shop, like put on morning tea and all the fanfare. And we ran 2 sessions within that. So first session, we had a complete 100% return rate plus more. So everybody went out and told their friends, told their wives, told their husbands, told their daughters and sons. And so we had extras that came along to the second session. But that really drove our wait list from there. I get calls from them weekly, just checking their stuff on the wait list and checking that there's nothing more that they have to do to be able to be eligible for apartment. So I think really for us at the crux of that, it was consumer research. We really wanted to co-design the spaces and bring them to be something that seniors in the region want and would purchase. So that was so important for us, but for them, we were really enabling them to design their own future. That's how they saw the conversations with us. And it was in a really informal setting. And it was, you're going to see my face again. You know, it wasn't just a consultant that we flew up from Brisbane. It was the marketing and sales manager and the CEO. So I think that was really valuable for them to put a face to Benevolent as well. We also, obviously, we're regional. So we've been working our regional networks. Work up here is very powerful. And especially within our demographic, personal are so powerful. So we've really been working those networks. We have influencer marketing, maybe not in your traditional social media sense, but we have adopted local community champions that are really driving the project. Yeah. So they're driving the project within their own individual networks. I've all about sold the penthouse to a really influential member in the community, and he's told so many people. So he's really driven expressions of interest and helped lead generation there as well, just by conveying to him the message of the community and showing what a legacy project it will be for Rockhampton, and they were on board so easily. Also, we're smack bang pretty much in the centre of town. So we've really optimised our site frontage. So you can't miss what we're developing and what we're creating. We've got this branded mesh banners everywhere with our renders, with our website, with the number to call for our sales department. So we're really driving quite literally traffic past our site and driving them onto our website and to our social media platforms. And lastly, fifth one is we actually sponsored a Senior Superstar Award. So we developed this with partnership with a local radio station 4RO here. And it's quite an amazing thing. It's a local award for seniors who are defying their age and doing exceptional things. So last year was the inaugural event, and just the lead generation that was driven through that was exceptional, especially through a radio advertisement. So it ran for the full month of October for Seniors Month, and we're doing that again this year. And it's so lovely to be able to sponsor something that aligns so wholly with our vision and mission and what we're trying to create, and really showcase the amazing things that seniors are doing and inspire the rest of the community.
Well done. And I think radio is such a great medium for what we do. Sometimes it's the quiet achiever, the add-on and the backup to what we're doing. So you've actually launched for sale already? You've actually started to take deposits on the project?
No, we haven't started to take deposits yet. We just have a broad-based database of what we're calling expressions of interest, and we'll start to take deposits next year.
So take them next year, and what's the time frame from when you'll launch the sales through till settlement?
It'll be about 12 months.
Excellent. Yeah. And have you started to work through what your retention program will be over that 12-month period at all, or is that something that you're still working through at the moment?
Yeah, something we're still working through our strategic marketing plan, but it's definitely on our minds. We just have to get our first building open first, which is our residential care. So that's April next year, and then we'll start construction on the ILUs, and from there it'll be all guns blazing.
Fantastic. Well, I know, from first-hand experience that the key to any successful project really is that strong relationship between your marketing team and your sales team. How will you manage that for this project to make sure that the key marketing messages and campaigns of what the sales team are hearing are really in line with what's going out there in the marketplace?
Yes, well, the team is very small, so we're developing those key messages together now. So all of our marketing collateral is really coming together at the forefront of this project. So we've really embedded ourselves in the project itself. And I think that was a real benefit from coming on from the development side, working with the architects, working with the builders now in detailed design. I'm so entrenched in the project, and also the community-facing amenities that I think it will really help lead into the sales, keeping those key messages fresh. And also you can see the passion, because I've been there from day one. It's not just a house sale. I'm sure you can respect that, is that we're not real estate agents. We're really selling a lifestyle. We're selling peace of mind to our residents and ensuring that they're going to enjoy living out their twilight years in a community that's for them and with people that are like-minded. So I think having that delineation between the marketing and the sales, that we're so close anyway. We work in the same office. We hear the conversations every day. We're a really small yet agile team.
I remember one of the best bits of advice that I was given when I first started out in the industry 13 plus years ago was, Ali, don't try to market to every single person over the age of 55, because the risk that you run in doing that is that you never really connect with anyone on a deep and meaningful level. So it really is, Jamie, as you were just saying, it's about stopping, it's about listening to what people are saying on those phone calls and then bringing that authentic marketing campaign to life to tell those stories, which is going to resonate with our database. So I couldn't agree with you more in regards to that. You were telling me the other day that Benevolent Living was the first regional provider in Queensland to have the ageless play program run in partnership with Playgroup Queensland. What does that involve, and how would you say that that's having a positive impact in the community?
Before Ages Play, we were running an intergenerational music program with a local music teacher here in Rockhampton. So we sponsored that and invited in young mums and bubs from the community to come in and enjoy. It was almost like a rhythm and dance. So it really helped the coordination for both the bubs and helped the mobility for the residents as well. And the connections were just beautiful. It brought a tear to your eye. We were having residents come out of their rooms that potentially had moved in 3 years ago and never connected with any activities. But as soon as the children were there, that was just something that they had been around their entire lives, you know, women that had maybe 6, 7, 8 children. So bringing them on site really brought a spark back to a lot of our residents. So through the play group, we ran that through our lifestyle and leisure program. One of our lifestyle officers ran that program jointly, and we embedded that into our community, and it was really wonderful. Unfortunately, with COVID, it has slowed down through the lockdown, but we have definitely committed to having our intergenerational activities embedded in our lifestyle program. And actually tomorrow we've got a local high school coming along, and it's going to be like an adopt-a-grandparent program. So they're all boarders, so they don't have family in town. So they're going to each have an individual residence. So tomorrow we're actually doing an intergenerational trivia game just to break the ice, and then we're going to follow that through into term 3. So yeah, that's a really exciting program that we're running as well. But I think just having that differences of perspective, differences of background and upbringing between our residents and children today, there's benefits on both sides for the relationships and the connections that they form.
Couldn't agree with you more, and what a fantastic thing to be happening within the community. Look, just to change direction slightly, what would you say would be some of the biggest challenges that you're facing in your role as marketing and communications manager at the moment, and how are you trying to overcome them?
Yep. So, well, that's actually a great lead in, because I'm sure, not to the surprise of anybody, but COVID is really one of our biggest challenges, not just through staffing, through the restrictions that our residents are facing and our family members, our visitors that are coming into the community. But really the fundamentals of our new community is we're creating amenities that will benefit everybody in Rockhampton, not just our residents. So at the moment, I'm really working through how we can ensure that our residents are safe as possible. But we really want to be able to open the community up and get people in, break down that barrier and activate the site in a meaningful and purposeful way. So that's my biggest challenge at the moment. And that's really what we're working through with the architects. We designed a community that would be activated. So COVID really threw a spanner in the works. I mean, we have a coffee shop on site. We're going to have an arts workshop, a community hall, a gym, an art gallery. So these are places that you want people to visit, you want people to see. So that's what I'm working through at the moment.
No doubt, like me, like everyone else out there, there is certain things in our roles that keep us awake at night. I'm sure it's no different for you. What would you say has been one of those things keeping you awake at night of recent times?
I really try to have a positive outlook on things. I try to make sure I get a good rest at night to get me ready for the next day. But I think at the moment it's construction timeframes, which I'm sure you can appreciate, having your perfect plan in place that can blow out at a moment's notice over something that you can't control. And especially during COVID, sourcing materials has been quite a challenge for our building team. And we're working really closely with them to ensure we're delivering the project as on time as possible. But as I'm sure you've dealt with in the past, Alison, things have slid a little bit. So we're just working through that.
and Jamie dealing with it right now. Unfortunately, programs do hit delays, completely out of our control, as you said.
Yes.
Look, I was reading the other day about the LASA mentoring program. Now, I know you're not completely in charge of this. One of your colleagues is. Tell me a little bit about it, because I was reading about it thinking, what a fantastic program. So tell us a little bit about it and how people can find out more about it if they'd like to.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a part of the National Council for Young Leaders in Aged Services, so Next Gen, which is an initiative from LASA. And our principal advisor, Samantha Bowen, she has actually spearheaded this program. So it's the mentoring program through LASA, and it really sets at bringing together mentors and mentees to support you in an invaluable way of current and emerging leaders through their career development. So something I think which is really, really important and beneficial for our sector to ensure that our current and emerging leaders are getting support that they need, and that may be outside of their organisation as well, just getting that different perspective. So it's a 5-month mentoring partnership, which is like an online coaching program, which facilitates your professional development as well. And if you want to see or hear more about that, you can contact Samantha Bowen on LinkedIn, or you can also email info@lasa.asn.au.
Fantastic. So thank you. You are the Deputy Chair of the LASA Next Gen Advice. For those that are listening today that aren't aware of exactly what LASA does, can you just give us a brief outline on that?
So the Next Gen Advisory Council, so we have actually just started a new 2-month term. So I was on the inaugural council, the National Council, that started 2 years ago, and we have worked together over 24 months to bring some really key initiatives to young leaders and emerging leaders. I think we have about 81 at the moment, new ambassadors that have just started. So Next Gen is really important to help attract and bring together like-minded young professionals in the industry. And I think from my personal experience being with a regional provider, it's very difficult to meet people who are in a similar situation to me or a similar area of their career. So to have Next Gen, to have a tribe that Sam has been able to brought together, it's just been invaluable for us. So we now have a slightly different structure. We actually have 4 committees that are working on strategic objectives. So yes, I'm the Deputy Chair of the Next Gen Advisory Council. I'm also the co-chair of the Events and Communication Committee as well. So we're working to bring online events for now to young and emerging leaders in the sector. And then also, fingers crossed, next year we can start bringing some face-to-face events in as well.
That's so fantastic that there's something out there. I know, again, when I started, I had a mentor, and that person today is still coaching me on a regular basis. And I think to have that input, someone to constantly just bounce things off, as you said, is completely invaluable. So congratulations to you all for doing that. Just such a fantastic program. What are you researching the most in your role right now, and why would you say it's important?
So for me at the moment, it's probably going to be left field for a lot of sales and marketing coordinators, or depending on where your area is, but I'm actually really looking into creative arts and helping to develop our creative arts activation strategy. So it's something that I'm very, very new to, but I'm thoroughly enjoying learning more in this space. I had no idea how intricate installation processes can be for artworks and exhibition spaces, and you've got to have the right lighting and the right tracking systems. So it's a new space for us, but for me, especially with our new community amenities that are coming online in April, it's going to be something that's very, very unique to Benevolent Living, and also unique, I think, to the sector, to have not just an arts-themed aged care or retirement living village, but also to have the local arts community together. It will hopefully even attract residents who've had an interest in the arts to know that there's a place that they can come together and really inspire and enable our residents to be a part of a program that they may never have thought about in their life. But I was speaking to one of our residents the other day, and she was showing me some of her artwork. And she said she didn't pick up a brush until she was 67 after she retired. And she has created some of the most beautiful pieces of artwork. And she said that it's helped her make friends in retirement. It helped her remain connected to her community and volunteer organizations. And I think it's so important to feel as though you're a part of something, not just in your older years, but even now for me to be a part of this and bringing such an amazing activation to life through the arts is something really incredible. So that's what I'm researching, probably way out there for most people, but it's something that we're really passionate about at Benevolent.
As a marketer, there is one question that I like to throw out to anyone in a marketing role, and it's, if you could have a billboard with anything on it, budget wasn't an issue, what would you put on the billboard?
Yeah, great question. To me, and I've touched on it before about having our own images and bringing to life our own story through residents that we know, families that we know, and the community that we know. I think the most powerful advertisement to me is seeing any seniors defying their age. So I would love to be able to focus on that to somebody really pushing the boundaries of their age. I mean, it could be a 100-year-old skateboarding with his grandson, or somebody, you know, I don't know if you've seen that photo that went viral with a lady rocking a fluoro pink mohawk, and she was in her 90s. I just think anything that really, really flips ageism on its head and plays like evocative images that really challenge what society's view is of seniors. That's something that I'd really, really love to be able to get out there and show that seniors living is more than just on-site care. It's really showing you how to step into your later years of life and really defy anything that society's thinking about you.
I love it. And tell me something that our listeners wouldn't know about you.
So at the moment, I think the most unique thing about me is actually a pair of shoes that I now own. I have hot pink steel caps, a hot pink hard hat, and a hot pink vest to match. So I've got the full outfit. So at the moment, I'm obviously wearing them for site visits as we go and visit the new build and just see the progress as it's tracking. But I'm also renovating my house. So I'm wearing them weekdays and weekends. So you can't really get me out of them.
Well, I certainly get a bit of a look on the construction site, no doubt.
Yeah, so I think they're a little bit jealous.
We would be with the pink hat and boots. And what are you doing at home at the moment with the renovation?
Yeah, so it's actually quite a big project, but I'm lucky I have a family full of tradesmen. So currently my dad and I, it's our little project. So we're extending the house and moving my kitchen at back, and open plan kitchen with a deck. And so it'll be really beautiful and really be able to maximize our Australian summers with some outdoor living space. Very excited.
Lovely. That's good. Perfect timing going into summer. Well, Jamie, what else should I ask you today that I haven't asked that you think's important?
I think it's probably more about how we're getting young leaders into the sector. I think we touched on it before, but I really stumbled into age services, but I've stayed because of the connections that I've been able to forge, and having such an amazing professional network like NextGen. I think it's really important for us to be able to showcase the industry as a progressive career pathway for young professionals. And I think I just wanted to highlight that today, just to shout out to anybody who's considering a transition into, it may be sales and marketing, it could be anything from the bedroom to the boardroom. And I really recommend that everybody take it on board, because it really is life-changing, both personally and professionally. What you deal with day to day, it'll really give you a greater perspective on life.
Couldn't agree with you more. And I don't know whether you heard, but I was talking to Jodie Prosser the other day in regards to how the industry really has changed. We used to be, I guess, the poor cousin to real estate. And as you've just rightly said, I said the industry has just got so many fantastic opportunities for the younger generation coming through. And I don't think there would be any regrets for anyone that decided to grab that with both hands and run into it. What book are you reading at the moment? Where are you getting your inspiration from?
Yeah, so at the moment, I'm actually currently reading The Happiest Man on Earth. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have not.
No. Okay, so it's by a man called Eddie Jaku. He was in a German war camp in World War II, and it's about his story and about how he was resilient enough to overcome, obviously the horrors of being in a war camp during World War II and living as a Jew. But he has a really beautiful saying that he's used obviously to market the book and for people to live their life by. And he says, life can be beautiful if you make it beautiful. It's up to you. And you see it every day, especially with residents. I guess I'm dealing more in the residential care space, but they may have debilitating illnesses or lower mobility levels. And I think it's just being able to approach that in a really empathetic but inspiring way for them to that life can be beautiful if you make it beautiful. And I think that's what I really took from that story is having that resilience to still live your life no matter what situation you're in.
Great advice. Well, look, what advice would you give your younger self if you were to press replay? What would you say?
Yeah, I thought about this a lot actually, and I just said simply trust the process and hang on. So it's been quite a wild ride over the 3 years that I've been at Benevolent, and it's been a very steep learning curve coming into the industry, but it's definitely something that I would never change. I've met some amazing people along the way, and as someone who's 27 and sitting in a management position, I think I've been given opportunities that I really wouldn't have got in any other industry. So I would just say trust it and just go for it.
Good on you. Well, Jamie, thank you so much for putting the time aside to have a chat with us today. Congratulations on everything that you and Benevolent Living are doing. As I said earlier, I do encourage anyone listening today to jump onto the website and just have a look at the great work that they're doing. Don't forget to also reach out to Sam with the LASA mentoring program, another great initiative from LASA. And if anyone would like to reach out to you, Jamie, how can they do that?
So you can just go on LinkedIn and search Jamie Langdon, or you can email me as well at communications@benevolent.com.au. But not a lot of people can spell benevolent, so LinkedIn's probably the best bet.
Good on you. Well, again, thank you so much. And we look forward to following the progress of the new development. It sounds exciting, and I can't wait to hear an update later next year.
Thank you so much for having me.